Greetings, students. Congratulations. You have finished all the keywords and concepts and all of that nonsense with the textbook. So now we can go on to the fun bit of class. Yay. So for this opening week, I kind of wanted to pick an experiment that we could use, that we could talk about what psychology is, the kinds of questions it can answer, and frankly, how nifty it can be. So this week we're actually going to be watching a very old documentary. This was created by Dr. Stanley Milgram in 1962 as he was completing the end of his famous obedience experiments. So here's the deal. It's the 1960s. Everybody in America just finished World War II, right? And people are genuinely confused as to how the previously kind and nice German people went along with Hitler, right? Like we vacationed there and hung out, and then all of a sudden, Hitler. So a lot of people on this side of the Atlantic were trying to figure out how this happened. That side too. We're trying to figure out how this happened. So Stanley Milgram invented a series of experiments to figure out how far obedience to authority would go. And it was a little alarming. Like it was a lot of alarming. So he set up this experiment that would let people believe that they were harming other people. They weren't actually being harmed, obviously, but it set up this really fascinating question about what obedience to authority means, when that goes too far, the roles that it serves, all of that kind of thing. So as we're watching it this week, I kind of want you guys to kind of start thinking more about, with this documentary, how this happens, why authority is so easy to obey, even when it's going against your own morality. Even when you know you're doing something wrong, you still listen to authority. It's a fascinating concept. It's a fascinating psychological concept, sociological concept, all kinds of stuff. So as we're watching, keep those things in mind. We do have a discussion board post on this afterwards. So I'd recommend taking a peek at the discussion board post before you watch so that you know what we're going to be talking about in that discussion board post. See if we should maybe keep doing these experiments, or are they problematic, or what's going on with that. Just a couple of things to clarify. They talk about, at the beginning of the documentary, they talk about the number of different kinds of people that they used in this documentary. They used plumbers and CEOs and lawyers and milkmen and all kinds of things. They're going to reference a good humor man, which for many of you, you may not know what that means. A good humor man's an ice cream man. That's the name of an ice cream company here in the States. This was still at a time when this was incredibly popular for them to like drive around with a little ice cream song, and the children would come out and buy ice cream. This is a thing I did in my childhood. It's starting to go away, which is sad, but that's what a good humor man is. So just so that you're not confused as you watch the documentary. Conveniently, Central Penn has this one, so no commercials. And obviously it was filmed in the 60s, so do with that what you will. But go ahead and give that a watch for me, and then I want to hear what you guys thought about it down in the discussion board post. All right, I'll see you there.